What's up guys, we're going to be looking at No Brainer today by Justin Bieber and DJ Khaled and Quavo. Now, we don't have a capo, which is nice. We don't need a capo for this one. Okay, so what I want to do, I'm going to leave that little intro bit. It's quite tricky, so let's just leave that till last. I just want to get you guys playing the song and the kind of the chordal part. So one thing I like to do in the verse is I keep it kind of short and staccato-y sounding, so it's more like this. So we're just gonna play like really simple kind of power chord type chords here. All right, now you can play the full chords if you want to, like F, G, bum, 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 bum. You can do that, and we'll look at that in a little bit. But I just want this to sound a little bit cooler for you guys, so we'll just start with this first, and if you struggle with it, then you can try the whole chords later on. So what I want you to do is basically have your third finger, third fret on the A string, fourth finger, third fret on the D string, add your first finger to the first fret on the low E string. Okay, so you get this power chord thing going. And we can use this shape for the whole kind of main part of the chorus and the raps, you know, this whole, it just keeps going round and round. So in terms of the strumming, we're going to have down, up, and then we move along to the third fret, and we hit that twice. I'll cover the rhythm in more detail. Let's just figure out where the shapes are first, right? So fret 1, fret 3, and then we have this kind of passing chord to get to here. So for this, the shape changes slightly. If anything, it's easier. We're going to have, instead of the third finger, I want you to use your middle finger on the 5th fret here. So then you get this diminished chord. Right, so that's in between. Okay, so we have F, G, diminished, A minor. Alright, that's the first part. Okay, now you got to try not to get all the other string. Okay, you're gonna get some clashes if you do that. Luckily, it's kind of it kind of sounds okay-ish, so it doesn't matter if you accidentally do it. But basically, just use this first finger, right, and just rest it, so you kind of bring it down and rest it on the string so that they can't, those kind of top 3 strings, they can't vibrate because you're blocking them, right? So even though you've got the first finger down here, you don't have to curl it, okay? You don't curl the first finger for this type of chord, just flatten it, and then you can block the other strings with the bottom. Can you hear how you only hear these 3 notes? The lower 3 strings are blocked. Alright? You can do that for each one. Then we have this D minor to C. Now I like to slide into it, so I come from the 3rd fret on the A string. Alright, still first finger, 3rd finger, 4th finger, and I go, but I do down, up. So watch this rhythm hand, I go down, up. But you notice I'm still moving it, so okay, so I do this for most of the verses, I do it for the chorus. You stick out of the crowd, baby, it's a no-brainer. It ain't that hard to choose. For real, baby, it's a no-brainer. You got your mind on loose, go hard on with the sunrise one night. Okay, so let's just look at this rhythm in a bit more detail because it's confusing. So just start slowly, and I want you to keep this hand going on every beat down. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just kind of keep it moving, and then you want to be able to play down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, down. Do you see why I'm getting you to keep that moving? Because then it's easier to get the ups in the right place. 2, 1, 2. So every beat you move it twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. Oh, and also you'll notice that I go on this G chord. It's kind of but it's short, right? So you just have to kind of pulse this hand in, pulse the fingers in to make it short, like. You hear that? I just kind of release the pressure just so that they're short. Down, 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 down. It ain't that hard to choose. Now you don't have to slide. You could just start on that chord like that. So down, up, down, 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 up. That makes sense. You don't have to slide into it because that can be quite tricky if you're not used to it. Just start on the 5th fret, down, up, and move down, right? Now if you struggle with this, don't worry, because I'm going to show you how to do it with the chords a little bit later, alright? There's not much to learn with this song. We have 2 main parts. So this is kind of the first bit, which we use for the chorus. You stick out of the crowd, baby, it's a no-brainer. It ain't that hard to choose. It's me for real, baby, it's a no-brainer. You got your mind on loose. Go hard and with the sunrise. One night will change your whole life. Off top, baby, it's a no-brainer. But I'm up if you with me, yeah, yeah, yeah. Now for this part, we're gonna make it more sustained and floaty, okay? And to do that, we don't want to use these power chords. We just want to use full chords like this. So put 'em up if you with me, yeah, 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 yeah. In the middle, whoa, 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 whoa. Put 'em high, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the second half of that, it goes back into the short and snappy part, right? So let me go over this nice kind of strum part. So the first chord is F. Alright, now a lot of people struggle with this because they can't fit the thumb over. Alright, now don't worry about the thumb, you don't have to have the thumb. You could even just have the middle 4 strings, right? So let me break it down. We have 3rd finger, 3rd fret on the A string. 4th finger, 3rd fret on the D string, just like your power chord. We have middle finger, 2nd fret on the G string. 1st finger, 1st fret on the B string. Okay, and that's enough. You can do that. That's fine. And then if you want to, add the thumb to the 1st fret, okay? There's your F chord. Now we'll look at the rhythms in a second. Let's just make sure we know what chords we're playing. And we go to G. Okay, so we have the 3rd finger, 3rd fret, middle finger, 2nd fret, and then I just play open D, open G, open B. Okay, I deliberately don't play the E string at the top, so you can just keep it simple. Then we have A minor. Okay, so this is similar to... Okay, we're playing our power chords in open form, right? So A minor, we have open A, middle finger, 2nd fret, 3rd finger, 2nd fret, 1st finger, 1st fret, open E at the top. Okay. Then we have C. Now for C, you can just move this third finger up to the A string on the 3rd fret. Keep the rest the same. Alright, so far, G, A minor, C. Then we're going to go to D minor. Okay, we've got 2 more chords, D minor and E minor. For this chord, you want open A, again, open D, middle finger 2nd fret here on the G string, either 3rd or 4th finger, 3rd fret on the B string, and then 1st finger here, 1st fret on the E string. Okay, that one's a bit of a weird chord. We don't use it very often, so you might want to practice this more than the others, alright? If I'm going too quick, by the way, just pause the video, look at the diagram, and just take your time with these chords if you've never learned them before. Then we have E minor. Okay, now because we're going to go straight to F, I think we should play it like this. We'll have open E, then 3rd finger 2nd fret, 4th finger 2nd fret, open G, open B, open E. Alright, and then we're going to do F and G again to finish that chord sequence. So all together, let me play it for you, then we'll look at the rhythm. So I'm going F, G, A minor, C, D minor, E minor, F, G. Right? Put 'em up if you with me, yeah, 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 yeah. In the middle, in the middle, oh, 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 oh. Put 'em high, yeah, 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 in the middle, oh, 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 oh. Put 'em high. And we go back to that choppy rhythm, right? So all I'm doing with this rhythm is I'm going down, up, down, then down, up. So down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. Now look at my hand, I'm still going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So that's quite a good thing to do, by the way, when you're trying to learn these rhythms. Don't worry about the chords straight away, just work on the rhythm. It's quite hard to do 2 things at once in the beginning, so just kind of flatten your hand, you get a scratch sound. And just practice, go down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. If you want, add little bits in between. You hear that? And then once you've done that for like 5 minutes or however long it takes to feel comfortable, then add the chords. Just do it slowly. Hi guys, just want to interrupt quickly for 10 seconds just to let you know that I have premium membership lessons on my website, guitarlegend.co.uk. There's a link in the description. Now these YouTube lessons are great for supplementing your learning curve. If you want to learn quickly and fast and you want to potentially make money and perform one day, then I really suggest using me as your official guitar mentor and joining. So click the link in the description and enjoy the rest of your lesson. Okay, then after a while you should be able to play a bit quicker. Right, so far we've covered the first half of the chorus and that kind of second half of the chorus, right? Now, when we get to the verses, so when we have the rap, so when Quavo's rapping, you can just keep this. Just keep that going, right? Now, if you want, you don't have to play these power chords, right? Like I said earlier, I'm going to show you. If you want, you can play it. You can do it with chords. So all you have to do is use your F chord, so down, up, then G, down, down. Then you can just do the bass note with whatever finger you like, so which brings you into A minor. So let me just explain. We've got down, up, down, down. You need that bass note in there really. So down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. It's the same as this. Now watch with the chorus. Does that make sense? There's a couple of parts in the song where it goes quiet. So all you have to do when it goes quiet is just put your palm, so kind of here, rest that against right here, the kind of top corner of your bass strings. Alright, just rest them and watch. Now it's soft. Makes sense? In the crowd, it's a no-brainer. It ain't that hard to choose. If you feel it's a no-brainer. And what I don't do, go hard and with the sunrise. Now, if you want to sing along to this, it can be a little tricky because of the rhythms. So you kind of just have to work out which words land on which beat. So let me just show you how I would work this out if I were you. So you play, you stick out, you stick out. So it's you stick, right? The up is on the word stick. You stick out of the, and then that I did that too early. You stick out of the crowd, crowd. So that's on crowd. You stick out of the crowd, baby. It's a no-brainer. And do it again. You stick out of the crowd, baby. It's a no-brainer. Right? You stick out of the crowd, baby. It's a no-brainer. It ain't that hard to choose it. So that bit's it ain't that hard to choose. That bit's tricky. You stick out of the crowd, baby. It's a no-brainer. It ain't that hard to choose. It ain't that hard. So on hard, you hit D minor. It ain't that hard to choose. It ain't that hard to choose. It ain't that hard to choose. So this one's in between to and choose. It ain't that hard to choose. So do you see what I'm doing, this process? If you're struggling to sing and play, sometimes you just have to take your time breaking it down when you've got these weird rhythms. It's easier when you just do, because you just kind of go on autopilot. It's easier to sing and play strummy rhythms. But when you're playing this very specific rhythm, it's harder to sing. You have to work it out. So the second half of this chorus, go hard and with the sunrise. That bit's tricky. So we're gonna play go hard. So on the up, you sing go. Go hard and watch the sunrise. Go hard and watch the sunrise. So rise is on this middle chord. Do you hear that? It's like go hard and watch the sunrise. Go hard and watch the sun. Watch the sun. So we have watch the sun rise. Go hard and watch the sunrise. One dive will change your whole life. One dive will change your whole life. So the last thing I want to show you guys is this. Alright, we got this. You can do that for the intro. You get that boing bum 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 boing boing bum bum. So it's now we know the chords. This was much easier. This is why I left it till last, because now we know the chords. We can work on this a little easier. So I like to kind of pick, I kind of hide the pick away for this. You see that? It's sort of hooked under my first finger, and then I use these fingers. Okay, but you can put the pick down, you can use whatever fingers you like. But we are going to kind of pluck this. Alright, so for F, before we had this, right, I want you to put your third finger down one, so it's on the D string. So now we have bass note, D, G, and B string. And you can play them all at the same time. Alright, bang, bang. So all I do is I hammer on my pinky here. You can pick it, or you can pluck it. Doesn't matter, as long as you get that. Right, and get the bass note too. In fact, you could even go, just play the bass note in the melody. That's quite tricky there. So, again, bang, bang. Then for J, you've got G, remember, but add the first finger here to the first fret. Keep it there. It's like a G sus chord now because of that melody. It's why it sounds nice. So we just do that twice. Ba 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 bang bam bam bam. Then we're gonna have to play this diminished G sharp diminished seventh, right? So this is the tricky one. If you're not used to playing diminished sevenths, which most of us are not, myself included. For this chord, it's just a quick one, so watch how quick this is. And we have to jump straight back to A minor from this. So I keep it nice and short. So let me just show you this. We have middle finger 4th fret on the E string, okay? That's our bass note. Then we have first finger, 3rd fret on the D string. 3rd finger is 4th fret on the G string, and 4th finger here, which is the melody note, so this is important, 5th fret on the B string. Alright, so once again, bang, bum, 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 bam. That's a passing chord, and then immediately do it short, jump down to A minor. Okay, and we can do the same thing. Hammer on. And then I just kind of pick and pluck D minor and C. So make sure you pick the D string for D minor, pluck the bottom 3. For C, you're still going to pluck the bottom 3, but make sure you play the A string to get the bass note for C. So you're basically going, okay, or if you're using your thumb, same thing. So all together. Now, I would advise doing this much slower. Just for that horrible change that we have here. But honestly, just keep it so short, then you have more time to play the A minor chord. Now you'll notice when you use your thumb and your finger, it sounds very mellow, whereas the pick, it gets a bit more bite. That's why I like to use the pick sometimes. You can even use the pick for the whole. You can use the pick for the whole thing if you've practiced your muting technique, which I teach on my course. You can just kind of strum away these kind of things. Alright, now I often get a lot of requests about playing the melody. Sometimes you hear me playing the melody on the guitar in the intro. I'm kind of reluctant to show you guys the melody because it's a little bit like learning a solo before you've learnt your shapes. You know, one thing I teach on my course is I show you how to map out the fretboard. So we'd figure out the key, like in this song, the key, key is A minor, so we would use the A minor shape. And then it's very easy to figure out the melody when you've mapped out the fretboard. So, with it round in the crowd, it was a no-brainer. Do you hear, like, I can pretty much just do it on the spot. I might have to work a few bits out, you know, but because I know my shape and I can visualize the shape, I can just play that melody, as long as you know how it goes in your head. Do you know what I mean? So I don't want you to spend like half an hour learning the melody for every pop song. What you should be doing is spending half an hour learning some shapes, so that you don't have to watch my videos for learning these single line melodies, right? So I really strongly advise that you take my course, the link's in the description, and I show you how to map out the whole guitar. And you can make your own licks, you can learn melodies like this, you can just play them, you know, you can even improvise around the melodies. It's great fun. And it's not that hard, you know, it's not that tricky. You just learn some shapes, learn how to find the key center, and you just crack on with it. So I hope this lesson was helpful for you guys. I'll see you in the next lesson.